Looking for professional day trading education as well as high level trade analysis and dissection, you've come to the right place. My name is Pat Mitchell. I have been a professional day trader for the past 11 years, and I'm here to give you exactly that. High level professional day trading education, all here for free on YouTube and on X. And today we are going to be talking about a few different things. We're going to be talking about a loss that I have had for negative $21,125, and we're going to go over the chart. I'm going to explain exactly what happened, and we're going to go over the other trades, and you'll see how the day panned out. So let's rock and roll. Give me one quick sec to fire up these charts. Okay, so I hope you guys all had a great day. Today was an interesting day. Ended up being an overall good day, regardless of P&L. And happy with the trades. And let's go over these trades one by one because there's quite a few trades. So for those of you that don't know, and maybe this is the first time following me here and viewing my channel, on Tuesdays and Fridays, I trade with a very small focus group of traders live. I run a live trading course as well as my main trading screen share as well. So I am managing two screen shares at once on Tuesdays and on Fridays. And on Tuesdays, I trade the same size that they would trade. And then on Fridays, I trade my full size. Now, one thing that people should know is this first trade that you see here that I'm going to go over on SPY for plus $420 was a trade that I executed. Let me grab it here. Sorry, folks. So this trade here was a really nice one as it, let me take a look here. So this one here was a short on the push up, coming up to retest the moving averages, and then it immediately came down. So overall, really quick, nice trade on that. We had moving averages as protection, and the long happened very, very quickly on that. It pops up, comes into a tight range. So there's a very tight range here. So those moving averages on the daily were here. That's the previous close. So you can see this very tight channel, and that's opportunity. So we ended up locking in $420 on that trade. And then as momentum goes, the first trade is a trade that we all take. And then after that, I'm looking for teachable moments, teachable trades, educational trades that I can then show members how to manage these positions, and especially if they're not going well. So what I ended up looking for here was a initial position on Q's long. Okay, so Q's came down to retest this level. There were a few things on the charts that I was looking at that it was worth a shot. So one of the issues that we are dealing with, if you're looking at these entries here, and it's just adding on the way down, when you have these multiple areas of support, and there's a lot of support, you're protected in this trade. You have the previous close, and then we've got a lot of support on SPY as well. There's a lot going on these charts, okay? And our risk was, I believe our risk, I think it was off of this area in here. Yeah, there's an area right in here. So we're watching it on the way down, and we're watching SPY. So SPY is going to give us an opportunity, and I want to explain something. So let's say we execute, because this is important to this trade, we execute this trade long coming into this level. Let's say it fails. If it works, if it doesn't fail, SPY is going to come up and Q's is going to come up. Okay, good, solid trade, lock in, all good. Now let's show you what happens if SPY doesn't hold and it washes. Q's will then wash as well. Now, yes, the trade that I'm in on the long is going to be red, but what you need to take a look at is the relationship between distance and retracement. So we came all the way from high of day. We have not retraced at all. And generally, you're going to get a retest of this level. Now, that didn't happen today, okay? It's rare. But if Qs doesn't do it, SPY will. So SPY pops up in this area, ends up coming into here. That's your opportunity to go short and take the hedge. And that's what I did. So right here is the hedge. Okay. So there's my entry, one singular entry, and then very patient on the sells. Now, originally, my target on SPY was, I'm trying to find it. Oh, low of day. So low of day here was the target. And then my greedy target is this gap fill down here and that 20 SMA, which it ended up hitting. Now, I was going to hold this position on SPY because this position on Qs isn't working. I know there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of moving pieces to this. This isn't a beginner or even a novice trade. This is more intermediate to professional, where you're working and managing this position based off of two different charts. I know it can be a little confusing. Just try and follow along the best you can. And if you have to rewatch it. So on this, I'm going to hold my target was going to be right into here. This one trade with small size, because it wasn't a lot of size, would have absolutely taken care of this big loss on Qs for $21,000. Now, I locked in here because I started seeing something and I ended up seeing a better trade opportunity. So instead of holding this one and not paying myself with the gift that I was just given here, I was able to make back $6,121 of that $21,000 loss. Okay. So you're taking a chunk out of it. Now, instead of risking those profits on holding SPY all the way down and not really paying yourself, which I don't like doing. Okay. Instead, what happens when SPY comes, or sorry, Qs comes right into this next level right here, right in this area. And it came right into that gap fill. If this comes into that gap fill with the amount of distance, and this is the banger here, we have not retraced from high of day and it went straight down into a gap fill area. That is where you can absolutely apply pressure. So putting those pieces together and knowing how markets work and how the magnet is going to go. As soon as I saw that, that's where I got out. So I got fully out on Qs. I'm done with this trade now. I will book that loss for $21,125 negative. No problem. Because I know through some calculation of size, with the way that this is going to absolutely smash down into that level, it will melt that premium down. This is why I love options. Execute that trade, which I did, and make an absolute mint. So on that trade, on the Qs short, or sorry, the Qs long, I lost 21,000. On the Qs long, I'm only putting in enough size on this to get back flush. And I was pretty close on my assessment of size because it came into $20,443. Not too fucking bad, man. Absolutely happy with that. So I booked in. And then from my hedge, my original idea to get back green on this trade, it worked. Locking in $6,120 on that, plus the 421. So overall, even though it took me longer to get there, and yes, there was a loss, if you remain calm, and like this is what I try and get through to people all the time. And I know it can be sometimes hard from the outside looking in when you have no experience with Tricktrades. You've never seen me do this live. You've never listened to me on screen share. You're not a part of my service, right? it's very easy to dismiss it as like, yeah, right. Okay. I do this every single day. I come from the camp where there is always a way out of a position. All this is, if you can remain calm and keep your emotions under control, okay? This is a game of chess. That's all it is. With the amount of opportunities that happen day in and day out, there's no reason to be red on the day. You'll have red trades, and I've said that 1,000 times on this channel. I'll take red trades, but red days are so few and far between because they are unnecessary. And I know a lot of people think that that's impossible. I know they do, but I prove this shit every day. Every single day for the past, I don't even know how many years, I've been posting my entries charts, doing trade plans for my members, and we execute all these same trades together, and posting my P&L for years straight, years straight. And even if from the outside looking in, you look at it and it's like, well, you didn't post on this day and you didn't post on that day, that gets posted to my members. They can attest to that. I've been doing this for years. At some point, some people need to realize, and without me sounding like a complete jerk off here, because I know how this sort of stuff comes off, some people are just very fucking good at what they do. So why, if you're struggling, would you not want to work with someone that strives for mastery? Because that's what I do every day. And again, I know how that sounds. I know it sounds like I got a fucking gigantic ego, but is what it is. Because every problem has a solution. Every trade has a solution. Sure, you might be red on some trades, but you're only one trade away. That's something that I've been saying for 9 years of running Tricktrades, guys. This is all very doable and it's achievable. So if you want to learn how to come do this, come to tricktrades.com. If not, it's okay. It's all good. That's why I have almost 1,000 video lessons for free on YouTube. It's just going to take you longer to get there. That's all. So if you feel like you have all the time in the fucking world to get to your trading goals, take your time. If not, come to tricktrades.com. Adios, folks. Have a great weekend.